With belief, anything is possible. And injecting Tottenham's players with much-needed confidence will be the biggest task for interim boss Igor Tudor when he walks through the doors to meet his squad. Sign up for the football newsletter. Thank you. Harry Redknapp advised Tottenham's new interim boss Igor Tudor to lift players' confidence. Redknapp is adamant Tudor should pay attention to Tottenham youngsters Archie and Bergvall. Spurs have everything to succeed, an elite stadium and training ground, but nobody inside them has any belief that they can challenge for big titles. Let's park the thought of glory for now. Tottenham are battling at the wrong end of the table, and these players were never brought in for a relegation battle. But all of them should be capable of the basics and rolling their sleeves up to get Spurs, 16th in the table and only 5 points above the drop zone, to safety. The message for Tudor now is similar to the one that I used when I arrived at White Hart Lane in 2008. Read more on football. We had fantastic players whose confidence was on the floor, having not won any of their first 8 league games. So the first thing I did was to lift the spirits of Luka Modric and Gareth Bale and remind them just how good they were, the quality they had and what they could do to the opposition. I had to make Modric truly believe there was no one better than him in the Premier League at that time. And everything flowed from belief. The players cannot be embarrassed to work, run after every ball and, when you lose it, keep chasing and pushing. Most read in football. Best online casinos, top sites in the UK. Bergvall and Gray are 2 players who can lead Spurs credit. Shutterstock editorial. There is a huge disconnect between the fanbase and the club at the moment, which is why everyone in the stands is calling for Mauricio Pochettino to come back. But give the players some belief they can compete and the tide will start to turn with the fans. If supporters see that effort, spirit and fight, they will back Tudor all the way. One thing the Croatian cannot do is go into this dressing room throwing teacups and screaming at the players to sort their act out. They will already be desperately low as a group, and I always believed players responded to a pat on the back. Spurs have everything to succeed, an elite stadium and training ground, but nobody inside them has any belief that they can challenge for big titles. Even if this is a difficult group of players to deal with, they are the ones Tudor has to use between now and the end of the season. He is stuck with them, so you have to work with them and not against them. A clear-out is most definitely needed in the summer, and not just when it comes to players. The new structure upstairs certainly needs looking at as well. Tottenham may have won the Europa League last year, but it is far easier to win a cup than compete in the Premier League, and in that sense, under a succession of managers, they have failed. That means the problems are far deeper than the squad. There are still a few players Tudor will need to deal with, and none more so than the captain Cristian Romero. You cannot take the armband away from him, as much as that would seem an easy fix. Strip Romero of the captaincy and then you have lost him from day one. For the short term, you need him on your side and with you. But there needs to be a frank conversation about his lack of discipline. We can all see there is quality there, but Tudor has to haul him into his office and tell him how much he is needed out on the pitch. You have to be clear. The Argentine centre-back will know his reputation is disappearing down the drain with every diabolical or rash challenge that ends up with another suspension. He is the only one who can change that, and the manager needs to support him to do so. A fine example for Romero and the rest of the squad to follow is 19-year-old midfielder Archie Gray. He was Tottenham's Player of the Year for me last season and delivers whenever or wherever you play him. One thing the Croatian cannot do is go into this dressing room throwing teacups and screaming at the players to sort their act out. Gray is a future Tottenham captain and everyone should be looking to him. He puts on a performance and shows commitment and desire whether at right back, centre back or in midfield. The kids at Tottenham, both Gray and Bergvall, have been showing up the leaders for far too long, and it is time the more senior figures followed their lead. Tudor might well be daunted by having the North London Derby as their first game, but it can be ideal. Recommended stories. There is nothing to lose for the manager or the players in this situation. When sides are in deep trouble like Tottenham are, a game where they are underdogs can change everything. My second game back in 2008 was against Arsenal, and we drew 4-4 at Highbury, having been 4-2 down with 2 minutes to go. With some belief, anything is possible in that game. Comments.